The deep sea doesn't feel empty. It feels aware. Far below the surface of the ocean lies a place with no sunlight, crushing pressure, and silence so complete it should feel lifeless. But it doesn't. In this Dark Depths documentary, you're going to learn why the deep sea feels alive, why explorers, scientists, and submersible crews describe the same unsettling sensation, the feeling that something is present. We'll break down the science, the psychology, and the disturbing discoveries that blur the line between environment and entity. And around 70% into this video, there's a moment that even seasoned researchers struggle to explain, the point where the deep ocean stops feeling like a place and starts feeling like something that notices you. The illusion of emptiness. From the surface, the ocean appears calm, a vast blue expanse stretching beyond the horizon. But that calm is an illusion. Within the first few hundred meters, light fades rapidly, colors disappear, depth perception collapses. By 1,000 meters, sunlight no longer exists at all. Not dim light, not shadow, nothing. And yet, the deep sea doesn't feel empty. It feels occupied. This contradiction is the first reason the ocean feels alive. Human brains evolved to equate darkness with stillness. But the deep ocean breaks that rule. Water is constantly moving, currents flow invisibly, pressure presses from all directions. Even when nothing is visible, the environment is active. Most people miss this. The deep sea is never still. It just moves too slowly to notice. And that slow movement sets the stage for something far more unsettling. Sound travels where light cannot. The deep sea is dark, but it is not quiet. In fact, sound travels 5 times faster in water than in air. Every storm on the surface sends vibrations downward. Every tectonic shift echoes through the abyss. Every creature, no matter how small, contributes to a constant hum. Hydrophones, underwater microphones, have recorded this soundscape for decades. Low-frequency rumbles, clicks, pulses. Some of these sounds have clear explanations. Others do not. Researchers once believed the deepest parts of the ocean would be acoustically dull. They were wrong. The deep sea is layered with sound, overlapping signals from biology, geology, and pressure itself. And here's the unsettling part. Some sounds appear to change when equipment approaches. Not louder, not faster, different. As if the environment notices it's being listened to. Viewer interaction. Hassan. If you heard a sound from the deep ocean with no clear source, would you want to investigate it or turn everything off? Comment investigate or off, because sound is only one way the deep sea announces itself. Bioluminescence. Light with intent. Over 90% of deep-sea creatures are bioluminescent. They don't glow for beauty. They glow for survival. Some use light to lure prey. Others use it to camouflage themselves. A few use it to communicate in ways we still don't fully understand. In total darkness, light becomes language. And that language is everywhere. Points of blue, flashes of green, faint glows that appear, then vanish. Submersible crews often describe seeing lights at the edge of visibility. Not charging, not fleeing, just hovering, waiting. This creates the illusion of observation. Because when light appears in darkness, the brain assumes intention, and intention implies awareness. Most people miss this detail. In the deep sea, light doesn't mean safety. It means presence. And sometimes, the presence doesn't belong to a creature at all. Pressure as a living force. At extreme depths, pressure becomes more than a condition. It becomes a force that shapes everything. Water presses evenly from all directions. Hundreds of atmospheres. Thousands of tons per square meter. To humans, pressure feels hostile. But to the deep sea, it's normal. Creatures there don't resist pressure. They rely on it. Their bodies are soft, flexible, often gelatinous. Pressure holds them together. This creates a strange psychological effect. When humans descend into these depths, the environment feels like it's pushing back. Not aggressively, persistently. Submersibles creak, glass thickens, metal flexes. It feels as if the ocean is testing boundaries. But here's the truth. Pressure doesn't react. It simply exists. And that indifference feels alive. Mini rehook. But pressure alone doesn't explain the feeling of being watched. The human brain in total darkness, one of the most powerful reasons the deep sea feels alive, is us. Human brains are prediction machines. We constantly scan for patterns, movement, threat. In environments with limited information, the brain fills in the gaps. Total darkness removes visual anchors. Sound becomes distorted. Time perception shifts. This creates hyper-awareness. Submersible pilots describe the same sensation, a feeling of presence without evidence, awareness without confirmation. This isn't fear, it's uncertainty. And uncertainty keeps the brain alert. Most people miss this. The deep sea doesn't need to scare you. Your brain does that on its own. Would you trust your instincts in total darkness? Or question everything you feel? Tell me in the comments. But there's a moment where psychology alone isn't enough to explain what happens next. The insane moment, when the ocean seems to respond. This is the moment teased earlier. During some deep-sea missions, crews report anomalies that occur only during observation. Lights flicker, sensors glitch, sound readings spike, not randomly, but during moments of focus, when attention is highest. When systems fail briefly, the ocean feels closer, heavier, more present. And when everything returns to normal, the feeling doesn't disappear. No visual confirmation, no recorded evidence, just the shared experience. Scientists avoid anthropomorphizing the ocean, but privately, many admit the same thing. The deep sea doesn't feel passive, it feels indifferent to us. And indifference, at this scale, feels terrifyingly alive. Why the deep sea feels more alive than space. Space is empty. The deep sea is not. In space, pressure drops to zero. In the ocean, pressure never stops increasing. In space, silence dominates. In the deep sea, sound travels endlessly. And unlike space, the deep sea presses back. It surrounds you, above, below, on every side. There is no direction that feels neutral. And that's why the deep sea doesn't feel like a place. The deep sea feels alive because it never stops moving, never stops sounding, never stops pressing. Life thrives there. Pressure shapes everything. Darkness removes certainty. And when humans enter that world, we don't feel attacked. We feel noticed. Not because the ocean is conscious, but because it doesn't need to be. In the next video, we're exploring why the ocean doesn't attack. It waits. Watch that next. Because in the deep ocean, the most unsettling thing isn't what moves. It's what never needs to.